combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live. And we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. If you're brand new to Jimmy Rants, hop on over to JimmyRants.com. You'll see how it works. We start off on Instagram, and I do a couple of live videos every single day. So go follow me on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man. That's LIVINLOWCARBMAN. And once you're there, you can engage in the content live when I go live. A couple of people are like, I never see when you go live. Well, you have to turn on notifications to follow me, and you have to follow me there to get the lives when they are notified. But if you miss me live, you can watch it on the replay for up to 24 hours on Instagram, but then poof, it disappears. But never fear, we pop it on over onto YouTube for you so you can see all the past episodes on YouTube. Just type in Jimmy Rants as a keyword search and you can find all the past episodes. And then finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast over on Apple Podcasts. Go listen, check it out, leave us a review there. Lots of you have chimed in with reviews, so thank you for that, but we could use a few more. Again, you guys, all of this is housed, all the links, everything is at JimmyRants.com. Today's Jimmy Rants is a perfect one for the timing of where we are when I'm recording this. So I am recording this on New Year's Eve, which is the day before a brand new year. And what inevitably happens on January 1st of every single year is people resolve to make some change in their life. Okay? So if you're a smoker, you resolve that you're going to try to quit smoking. If you drink alcohol, too much alcohol, and you want to try to overcome that, you decide to give up drinking. But the vast majority of people try to get healthier in the new year, and the way that they do that is they try to change their diet. And so with keto being the most popular diet in the entire world right now, much more popular than paleo was, and it's pretty much rivaling where the Atkins diet was about a decade and a half ago. It's pretty amazing how keto has popped up and has become so big so fast, which brings a big smile on my face since I wrote a big book about that 5 years ago. Anyway, so people are choosing to go on a ketogenic diet. So guess what they're doing right now, the day before they start to go keto? They're doing some crazy stuff, and I definitely want to hear from you guys about maybe some crazy things that you did the day before you started. Doesn't have to be keto, but any life change. What were some of the crazy things that you did? Because people will be doing some cray-cray stuff today. Let me tell you what I did before I started on the Atkins diet in 2004, January 1st, 2004. So tomorrow will be 15 years since I made that start, and I'll definitely do a whole Jimmy Rants all about that tomorrow. But the day before, 15 years ago today, I was doing some weird stuff. Because again, I never thought I would be successful. I never thought that going on the Atkins low-carb diet was going to actually do anything. So what did I do the day before? I was stuffing my mouth with every bit of what I now call crappy garbage. I was just stuffing it to no end. I was eating, thinking, oh, well, if I'm never going to be able to have this again, I want to make sure I get my fill of the bill here. And I was eating desserts. We went out to a buffet, and I ate all this crappiness that I could possibly shove in my pie hole. Weird stuff that people do leading up to making a change. Am I the only one that does this? Was I the only one that's ever, like the day before, you go, okay, well, if I'm never going to be able to have bread again, I'm going to eat bread. If I can't have pizza again, I'm going to eat pizza. If I can't have dessert again, I'm going to have the most sugary, nasty desserts I'll ever put in my mouth ever again, but I'm going to do it the day before I make a change. It is funny, isn't it? The way people rationalize in their brains, well, if I'm going to have to deprive myself of those things for the rest of my life, or at least the duration of this diet that I'm choosing, then I'm going to get it in while I can. Here's why I'm going to encourage you, if that's you today, to don't do it. Because you're only going to set yourself back that much further. You're only going to make the pain of the transition that much worse. See, what I didn't realize at the time was I was highly, highly addicted to sugar. I was highly, highly addicted to the sugary effects of the carbohydrates I was consuming. So when I flooded my body one last time with gobs and gobs of crappy garbage, when I started day 1 of the Atkins diet and went down to 20 grams of carbohydrate a day, that hurt. That hurt a lot. And so I don't think had I not done that, I don't think it would have hurt as bad. But I was in a lot of, like, literal, you guys, physical pain because I was basically withdrawing from my drug, and my drug of choice was sugar. And so you're probably going to hear a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm going keto. My mom's going keto, by the way, starting again tomorrow. She got on it a couple years ago, was doing really well, and then just decided to back off of it. Well, she's recommitting to it tomorrow. And I wonder if my mama's doing this today, where she's maybe eating thing. Well, I'm going to start tomorrow. Let me get all the crap that I can in today. It's just a fascinating psychological exercise as to why we do these things to ourselves. And it also goes to, is your heart really in it? Do you really want to make a change? The fact that you would do these drastic things the day before making a huge life change. Now, obviously, if you're starting tomorrow, you don't want to start today. So I get that. But to deliberately eat the very antithesis of what you're going to have tomorrow, today, that just seems really so weird. So I'm really anxious to see what you guys have to say are the crazy things that either you yourself or people in your life that you know do the day before they go keto. And let's go there now. So welcome in, you guys. Thanks, Joe, for being here. Amy, Beth, Bonnie Lene, Kimberly, Lindy, all you guys are here. Thank you for that. Thank you, Jesse. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Kat. Hello, Debbie. Lots of people here today. Hello, Joette. Bonnie Lene said, before keto, I ate so many desserts and pasta. And then she has like a kind of emoji. Yeah, Bonnie, you're not alone. I think a lot of people, and it would be a fascinating psychological discussion to talk with a psychiatrist about this. What makes people do that? What makes people go there in their brain that, well, if I'm going to make a change today, I'm going to eat the very opposite of that change to the nth degree. It's a really fascinating psychological experiment. Jesse says, so far I'm drinking black coffee. Crazy. Interesting. Beth says, at one time I hoped to gain enough to qualify for insurance-backed weight loss surgery. Now that's interesting. So you wanted to gain weight so that you could qualify to get weight loss surgery. That just blows my mind. Most people have the opposite problem. They weigh too much and they won't do surgery until they get down to a certain weight. That's really interesting. Keto teacher mom Lindy, hello. I'm going to be eating veggies today since I'm going carnivore tomorrow. That's my crazy. Yes, Lindy, I too am going to do carnivore in the month of January. I just talked to Dr. John Lemansky just this morning about what blood tests to have run to check, and it's all the usual suspects: insulin, some of the inflammation markers, testosterone, some of the other things that will change, you hope change for the better, going carnivore. So we'll see how it goes. Really anxious to talk more about that here in another couple of days. Today I am fasting, currently at 21 hours. See, Beth, I don't think anybody, before they start on like keto for the first time, I don't think anybody says, I'm just not going to eat the day before I start this. But that would be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't think that's crazy at all. Kimberly says, I do this. Yeah, Kimberly, I think more of us do this than we want to admit. And again, it just would be fascinating to kind of dig into what's going on up in that noggin that makes us do those kinds of crazy things. I used to binge before a big change. You are not alone. Yeah, I think a lot of people do it. And I guess we think if we get it all in one swell foop in one day, the day before we make a change, then it'll hold us through. I don't know what we're thinking. The bad thing is people do that, then they go keto January 1st or whenever they make the change. And then a week later when they realize, oh, this sucks, I don't like it, then they go back to eating again. So it's like you didn't really accomplish anything. RL Blackbean says, having beef Wellington and creme brulee, plenty of wine and champagne, but I can't wait to get back to my keto lifestyle. Okay, so your choices aren't so bad. I've seen people do much worse than what you just described. Amy says, your story of your beginning of your new life was my inspiration to go keto and now going carnivore for at least the month of January. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Amy. Appreciate that. Happy New Year to you, Ashton. Last time I binged on purpose, I felt even worse the next day. Hunger and lethargy was out of control. Yeah, Beth, that's the thing. All these people who are the day before making a change, eating all of this crap, what they don't realize is they're spiking their insulin level. They're making the hunger hormones get turned on even stronger so that when they don't continue that style of eating on the day that they start keto, for example, when they don't continue, guess what happens? They're starving. They're miserable. They're tired. They're lethargic and have no energy. They just have no reason to live. Trust me, I've been there. I went through that myself, and it's no fun. Bridget, so glad I see you're live. Thank you, Bridget. Appreciate you being here. We do these every single day, a couple times a day. Jesse says, I'm OCD listening to The Minimalist Home on Audible. My goal is to simplify my life, rid my mind of physical and proverbial excess. Start now, not tomorrow. I love it, Jesse. And I've done this before. A few weeks ago, why wait till New Year's to make a change? And it's true. How much further along would you have been if you made a change, say, the weekend after Thanksgiving? And here we are coming up on a new year. You'd be 5 weeks ahead of the game of everybody else on your resolution to make a change. I've got a ribeye seasoned and ready to cook tonight. Amy, that's keto, my dear. But I guess you're talking about carnivore, so that's great. Master of my own kitchen, mental preparation to the commitment helped me be successful when I started my health journey. And see, yeah, I wish people that were making a change to keto, for example, would use the day before not to flood their body with all this crap and garbage, as I like to call it, but instead to prepare themselves and to even have positive affirmation that I am going to succeed. This will be enjoyable. I'm going to get results in my life. I think if you had those kind of things and maybe go get a day at the spa, spend your money on pampering yourself and getting your body in a stress-free, as much as possible, state, and to get a good night's rest, and then start the day anew with this brand new life change, ready to take on the world. I love that. I think that's a great way to redefine what it means to be going on a new life change like keto, rather than doing all these crazy things that people like to do. Kimberly says, in 2017, I was using the Trim Healthy Mama eating plan. I lost weight, but my body needed more. I'm blessed for the way they reduced sugar from my diet. 2018, I started on keto, and I'll never look back again. And see, I think this is a good point too, Kimberly. Thank you, and congratulations on your success. This is another thing. If people don't necessarily find the plan that works for them, I think this is a lesson in keep looking. Keep looking. So you tried the Trim Healthy Mama plan and it eliminated sugar from your diet. So you got some modicum of success doing that. and then you found keto. And now keto is the way that works for you. I know a lot of people started off in paleo. In fact, I've got a new cookbook coming out in 2019 called Keto Clarity Cookbook. It's coming in May. And my co-author on that, who's the recipe developer, her name's Heather Ingersoll. So Heather, she goes by Heather's Real Food here on Instagram. Heather has an incredible story that we talk about in the book, where she started having some really major health issues, stomach pain, and things like that. And she just slowly, methodically added in little things here and there. So she first started trying to clean up the food choices that she had. So she stuck with real food. Then she tried paleo, and then, or she started gluten-free, I think, initially, right after college, right around college, she was gluten-free. Then she tried to do real food. Then she tried to do paleo. And it wasn't until she read Keto Clarity that she realized keto was the missing element for her. So if you start on something new, regardless of the crazy things that you do before you start something new, if you start on something new and you're not quite feeling it after a period of, say, 60 to 90 days, don't stop after 2 days. You ain't tried it yet, no matter what you've done. 60 to 90 days and you're not quite feeling right and you're tweaking all the things and you're reading up on what possibly could be going on and you're still not feeling right, it's okay to make a shift and to go ahead and try something else. So maybe you try paleo and you're still not quite feeling right, but then you find keto and you're like, ah! So I think that's the lesson here that I want people to know as well. Ashton said, I have lots of desserts and carbs the day before. Yeah, I think we all did. Keto Fit Bridget says, I think the sugar addicts are really the ones who love keto. Others who have self-control or don't love sugar just don't get keto. Christine, my wife, really wasn't into sugar, but she loved potato chips and she loved all the other kind of salty things, so crackers and that kind of thing. So for her, she was never really a sugar addict, but you're right. In general, Bridget, people that are addicted to sugar, and once you get off of that sugar addiction, you're able to see great success on keto and feel good on it. And some of us that are were the biggest sugar addicts now are the biggest champions for keto. But don't neglect those people that also are salt addicts and were having all of these salty, carby kind of foods, and it led to disastrous results for them as well. So Christine still loves to have, crunchy types of salty foods, but now we find keto versions of those things. Hal Row 1221. Yes, I've done that so many times. I'm a chip person. See, you're just like my wife, Christine. I try not to have them in the house at all. I think we may overeat those things, so we may feel sick and not want them. Yeah, that is what you hope happens. That once you remove them and then you think, oh, I can add them back in, you feel like crap after you eat them, that's when you make the real change. The paradigm shift happens in your head and you no longer eat those things ever again. Do you block memories? I can't remember what terrible things I did. I guess I drank too much, says Jesse. I think you were drinking too much, which is why you can't remember. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Keto fasting, Montana living. The day before starting intermittent fasting keto, poured 13 microbrew beers down the drain, completely purged my kitchen of garbage, never looked back. That is a great idea too. Use this day to go through your cupboards and go through your refrigerator and see what's still in there. Because people are like, well, what if I slip up and have something I shouldn't have? Is it in your house? If it's in your house, get it out of your house the day before you start. Then you can't say, well, what if? Because there ain't nothing but keto foods in your house. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to stick with keto. Unless you're crazy and you call for takeout or go out to the store and buy something that way. Bridget, or just having a bad day and then fasting the next just makes fasting worse. Yeah, don't ever start on a fasting protocol by the day before loading up on crap, because your body will scream at you. I promise you. I used to eat till I was about to bust. Yeah, Bishop, I think we all did that got to that level of obesity. But now we're all living La Vida low carb, as I like to say, and we're enjoying the foods that we eat, that we don't need to do that anymore. By the time I'm ready to make a change, I'm already 1 foot in because I'm so sick of eating poorly, says Butter Me That. I love that. I think having that mindset of I'm ready to go, I think that's so much better than let me stuff every bit of crap in my mouth because this is going to suck. And yet we all have that mentality. Hopefully in this Jimmy Rants today, you're learning that mentality is just a one-way ticket down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. Navy Wife 00, right? Keto is a way of life for me forever. And I think once you taste it and realize how good it is, and it's going to take you guys, if you're brand new to keto and you're watching this and you're like, okay, I don't get what you're talking about because I tried keto 3 days and it did nothing for me. 3 days ain't keto. Keto takes at least 2 to 4 weeks at the minimum for you to become keto adapted. And then once you're adapted, then you start getting the benefits. Enjoy it for about 60 to 90 days after that. And if you're not feeling great after that and you're doing everything right and you're testing really good in your ketosis and your blood sugar's down and everything's getting better, but you're not feeling it, then let it go. Move on with your life. Okay? I binged on the black peas 2 years ago and then started keto January the 3rd. Joette, I bet it was not fun. That hunger from binging on sugar and carbs, it makes me feel nauseous in the morning. Not that I've ever done that, wink, wink. Yeah, I think a lot of us have done that back in the day. Instead of going crazy, oh, are you done already? Yeah. Instead of going crazy with carbage before keto, how about read and do research on how to be successful on keto? Exactly, Dr. Joe. Exactly. There's the beautiful Christina Wiener.
Hey.
She's getting her shoulder update. So, yeah, great. All right. Couldn't sleep last night. LOL. Was it ketosis? Maybe 2 hours of sleep leaves me feeling hungry in the morning. I'm never hungry in the morning unless I get less sleep. Yeah. There's a reason for that, right? Getting less sleep.
It causes a rise in cortisol and blood sugar levels, so that'll make you hungry.
See, you got a bonus expert here today on Jimmy Ranch. You didn't know you were going to have. Navy Wife says, true, I started keto August 2017. I purposely didn't start on New Year's because I had failed so many times at other diets. Keto was a godsend to me. Congratulations, that's awesome. Sometimes when people can't have something that then they want it, like crappy garbage. Bonnie, you're right. You are so right. Keto helped me break my binge eating. Yeah. Well, you don't have to binge when you eat keto food because it's so nourishing. It's so delicious. You eat it till you're satisfied. You stop. Then you get to go long periods of time between meals. And then you eat another meal. There's no need to binge when you're keto. My carby thing was microwave popcorn. Ashton says, yeah, it was hers too. Yep. I was telling them how you were a salt fiend. Mm-hmm. And that was why keto was helping you, was because you loved the crunch and the salt. For me, it was sugary, sugar tooth. Yep. The lack of cravings on keto is why I love this way of eating, says Bree. Yep, big time. Yes, I am 7 weeks keto and loving it. I'm already down 15.5 pounds. Way to go, Bishop. My friend Inez says, whoever says keto doesn't work is not doing keto at all. Olga, nailed it, girl. Paul, I'm not answering general questions on this Jimmy Rants. We're talking about crazy things people do the day before going keto and why you should not do that. But if you want to personally message me that question, I'm happy to answer. You're getting a lot of love from the peoples. They love them some Christine. They're like, yeah, it's Jimmy Rants, but we want to see more Christine or Wiener. From one Vol to another, go Vols. Yes. If they could ever get him a quarterback like Peyton Manning again. So, all right, guys. So the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants is people going to do cray-cray stuff the day before they make a change, like keto. And so if they're going to do crazy stuff, they're going to pay the consequences for that. and it's going to make it that much harder. So our job is to gently chide them and point them in the direction of, you got to do things the right way. Prepare your body mentally, physically, be good to yourself, reduce stress, all of those things that are important. Do that today, the day before you make a life change, so that when you get ready to truly make a change, it'll stick and you'll get the benefits of that. So can you guys be that encouragement to the people around you who are trying to do crazy things, loading up on a lot of crap? I was telling them how when I went Atkins the day before, we went out to a buffet and I went down and ate all the crap I could possibly eat. And how stupid was that? Stupid in hindsight. But you learn. You live and learn. All right, guys, that is it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. As always, go to jimmyrants.com and you'll see how this works. It's a pretty unique show, you guys. We start off on Instagram, doing a live couple times a day. So go follow me on Instagram, Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. And then once you're there, you can engage in the content live, just like all these amazing people did here today. It's up on Instagram for 24 hours on replay if you missed it live. And then it disappears after 24 hours on Instagram. But never fear, we throw all the archives over onto YouTube. Type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants on YouTube, and you will find all the past episodes. And then finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast, which has the best of the best highlights of this here show, jimmyrants.com. So until next time, we'll see you then.